There's a moment every man faces when her eyes no longer hold the same warmth and your energy no longer revolves around her. That's when everything changes. The air grows still, the power flips, and without a single word, she begins to feel your absence more than your presence. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This isn't about playing games. It's about becoming that man. When a man stops chasing and starts focusing on himself, something powerful happens. You detach, not with anger, but with clarity. You stop proving your worth and start embodying it. Every message you don't send, every reaction you hold back becomes a mirror. And in that mirror, she sees a man who doesn't need her validation to breathe. Your attention once comforted her. Now your silence becomes her storm. The moment you stop orbiting her emotions, she realizes she no longer controls the gravity. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom is not distance. It's discipline. It's when you choose peace over chaos. You don't detach to hurt her. You detach to heal yourself. When your energy returns to your mission, your purpose, she feels that shift from miles away. When a man stops explaining himself, his silence speaks louder than his defense. Epictetus said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you stop imagining what she thinks or feels and focus on what you can control, you reclaim your power. When she senses you've checked out, it's not indifference, it's evolution. You're not running away from love, you're returning to yourself. That's when her perception shifts. Curiosity replaces comfort. Mystery, not explanation, reignites attraction. When you start pulling back, something subtle happens. At first, it's quiet. Shorter texts, longer silences, small changes in tone. But behind it, her mind is racing. She feels something she can't name, the shift in power. You used to be predictable, always available, always reassuring. Now you're calm, detached, mysterious, and that uncertainty wakes her up. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When you stop craving her attention, you stop being poor in spirit. You become full, complete within yourself. A man's energy is like the sun. When it shines constantly, it's taken for granted. But when it disappears, the world notices the absence. Your silence becomes the shadow she can't escape. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." When you stop craving her, you regain control. Your detachment isn't coldness, it's mastery. It's choosing to give your attention only to what deserves it. Think of a warrior stepping back from battle, not in fear, but in wisdom. He knows not every fight is worth the wound. The same goes for you. You don't pull away to punish her. You pull back to protect your peace. And when she feels your absence, she will test it. She'll call, text, linger in your shadow, trying to see if the flame still burns. Don't flinch. Don't chase. Let your silence speak the truth. You are no longer a man who negotiates his worth. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her reactions are outside events. Your composure, that's your domain. So stay still, stay grounded, because the moment she feels you've stopped needing her is the moment she begins to respect you again. When you lose interest, everything changes. The dynamic flips. She feels the power shift, not in your words, but in your silence. You used to text first. You were always there, always ready, always giving. But now your energy has changed. You're not chasing anymore. You're choosing where your focus goes. And that's when she starts wondering what happened to the man she once controlled. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When your thoughts no longer revolve around her, your energy rises again. You stop being predictable. Predictability breeds comfort, and comfort kills desire. Imagine fire. If it never changes, it becomes background heat. But when it flickers, when it breathes unpredictably, it draws you in. That's what your energy does when you stop overgiving. It becomes magnetic again. Epictetus said, "Wealth is not about having much, but needing little." The moment you stop needing her attention, you become the wealthiest man in the room. Because real confidence doesn't beg to be seen. It stands still and lets others notice. Now she fills the gap. She sends late-night messages, tests your silence, dresses up to get your attention. Don't break. Don't rush back. Every moment of patience deepens your strength. Seneca wrote, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." That calm, your stillness, is what makes her question her place in your world. Let her fill the space you once filled. Let her realize she's no longer the center of your orbit. You're not punishing her. You're mastering yourself. And mastery, not attention, is what reclaims respect. So hold your frame. Stay unmoved. Because when your silence has weight, her confusion becomes curiosity. And curiosity is the spark of desire. Silence is a man's loudest weapon. When you go quiet, not out of anger, but out of strength, she feels it. Women are wired for communication, emotion, and validation. When that flow stops, she starts to wonder what happened to her control. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." Your silence isn't revenge, it's refinement. You no longer react to every emotion, every test, every word. You simply choose peace over chaos. At first, she'll think you're ignoring her. Then she'll realize it's not anger. It's detachment. It's the quiet confidence of a man who no longer seeks to explain himself. Think of a storm calming into still water. That's what masculine silence feels like. It's not emptiness, it's control. A man who can hold silence doesn't need to win arguments. He's already won himself. Epictetus wrote, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you stop talking, you start observing. You see her patterns, her emotions, her intentions clearly, and that clarity gives you power. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." It takes courage to stay silent when every emotion tells you to react. But that courage separates a grounded man from a desperate one. In silence, you let her feel your absence. You let her question herself. You let distance create value. Because women don't miss men who talk too much. They miss the ones who disappear with purpose. Your silence becomes the mirror that shows her what she lost. No arguments, no explanations, just stillness. And in that stillness, she finally sees your worth. When she feels your energy has pulled back, the tests begin. Not because she hates you, but because she wants to know if you're still under her spell. She'll question you, tease you, post something to trigger your reaction. She wants to see if she still controls your emotions. And this is where most men fall. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Her actions are outside events. Your reaction, that's your test." A man without discipline reacts. A grounded man observes. He doesn't argue. He doesn't explain. He doesn't chase. He simply watches, calm, composed, untouchable. Imagine standing in front of a storm. The wind howls. The rain hits your face, but you don't move. You breathe through it. That's Stoicism in action. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom doesn't mean walking away. It means standing still while chaos tries to pull you in. She might flirt with others to see if you'll flinch. She might go silent to see if you'll panic. Let her. Because every test she throws at you is proof that your detachment is working. Seneca wrote, "Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Your calmness is not weakness, it's authority. A man who doesn't need to respond immediately becomes unpredictable, and mystery is what reignites attraction. So when she tests you, smile inside. You've already passed, because a woman only tests a man she still feels something for. And your strength, your calm, your silence reminds her why she once admired you. Stay grounded, stay silent, stay unshaken, because her tests don't define your worth. Your composure does. When a woman realizes she's losing control, she reveals who she truly is. The calm mask fades. The tests turn to emotion. She tries to draw you back, not through love, but through confusion. She might act distant, then show affection. She might post pictures to spark jealousy or mention other men just to test your reaction. This isn't love, it's fear. Fear of losing the power she once had. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." She is the outside event. Your task is not to fix her behavior. It's to master your response. When you stay centered, you'll see her patterns clearly. When you no longer react, her emotional games lose their grip. It's like watching a storm from inside a fortress. You hear the thunder, but it cannot reach you. Epictetus taught, "No man is disturbed by things, but by the view he takes of them." If you see her chaos as an attack, you'll fall. If you see it as a test of discipline, you grow stronger. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Don't rush to respond. Don't rush to explain. Let time reveal what emotions try to hide. Because the moment you stay silent, she has to face herself. You're not punishing her by walking away. You're honoring your peace. Detachment is not cruelty, it's clarity. It means you can love without losing yourself. And that's what truly unnerves her. Your peace. When she realizes she can no longer shake your foundation, she finally sees the difference between a man who wants her and a man who no longer needs her. When she realizes you've stopped chasing, she panics. Not because she lost you, but because she never thought you'd walk away. Her calm turns to confusion, her confidence to curiosity. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The moment you stop letting her actions control your peace, you become untouchable. She may try to pull you back through affection, silence, or jealousy, but your calm will unsettle her more than your anger ever could. Because when a man no longer reacts, he becomes a mystery again. Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your stillness isn't weakness, it's mastery. When she tests your resolve, you stay unmoved. That's when she finally sees the man she took for granted. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom isn't about leaving her. It's about no longer being ruled by her. When you no longer depend on her validation, your energy shifts. You stop chasing closure and start creating peace. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to make her understand. Your silence already speaks. It says, "I've grown, I've learned, I've let go." The man who embraces detachment isn't cold. He's free. Free to love without fear. Free to walk away without hate. Free to choose himself without apology. And when she finally realizes that, it's too late. Because the man she once had wrapped around her finger has become the man she can no longer reach.